Now we'll take a closer look at how the joint venture approaches challenging marine projects by following the construction of the Sriracha jetty, which extends 2.8 kilometers into the Gulf of Thailand and crosses over an existing conveyor jetty. The jetty head is 450 meters long and 4 meters wide and stands in water 14 meters deep on the edge of a shallow coastal shelf. Access to the jetty head is by a dual carriageway, 10 meters wide, built to twice the international standard for highway loading standards. The deeper offshore berth is capable of accommodating vessels up to 60,000-ton displacement, while the inshore side can handle smaller ships of up to 10,000 ton. The joint venture completed this project utilizing the fast-track economical design and construct method. Kier Engineering Services furnished the design, which was checked by the employer's consultants, Sindhu Mounsel. Sriracha Harbour Company, who commissioned and awarded the contract, is the procurement company for one of the largest steel producers in Thailand. Construction began in the precast yard, where 8 different types of precast concrete units were manufactured on site, under direct labour and supervision, with site facilities which produced over 1,000 tons of prefabricated steel and 6,000 tons of precast concrete units per month. The precasting and pre-stressing of the approach roadway units was carried out on 2 long line beds, 110 metres long, capable of accepting 700-ton stressing force. 2 gantry cranes over the bed lines and rebar fabrication areas were kept busy servicing manufacture and moving the units from casting to curing and onto the stockpile. Profiling of the road's unit's surface and soffits enabled the straight line of the strand to have optimum eccentricity over the cantilevered supports and at midspan the 2 points of maximum stress under working conditions. The steel used in the primary superstructure of the approach roadway was 9 1/4 universal beam sections, butt welded to 4-meter lengths. Fabrication included adding half joints at the ends as well as stiffeners and groups of stud welds on the top flange. Sandblasted and coated with tar epoxy paint, the finished piles were sent out to the erection barge. Depending on water depth and capacity requirements, pile diameters range between 560 millimeters and 1 meter with wall thickness of 16 or 24 millimeters. The large piles were driven with 16-ton hydraulic drop hammer, while the lighter piles were driven by an S90 IHC hydro hammer. After driving, the 2 piles in each bent were cut to level. Crossheads welded up and cap plates fitted. Normally, 3 bents or 6 piles per day could be completed. The Mersey River with a Series 2 Manitowoc 4100 crane followed the piling barge to install the 914 beams and precast road units. On average, 250 meters of carriageway were completed each week. The barges used were selected from the joint venture Marines plant pool with the capability to work through most weather conditions with minimum downtime. Precast, pre-stressed concrete box beams were then placed across the 15-meter span between the crossheads, which were then in turn filled between, giving structural continuity both longitudinally and transversely to the entire deck. A topping slab followed to provide the finished working surface. Concurrent with work on the deck, special fender units were being precast on shore, some of which were the largest on the project, weighing 50 tons and over 6 meters high.